Hello, Ramley and other NFL family. This is the Rams' perfect season. The first thing that happens, of course, the Rams start 17-0 in the regular season. Flawless, untouchable, and then they sweep the playoffs 3-0 all the way to a Super Bowl victory. However, who are their opponents? We'll get into that later. What's happening elsewhere? Let's dive in. Now, while the Rams are busy having a historic season, in fact, one of the greatest seasons of all time and entering the conversation of greatest team of all time in NFL history, the Falcons are having a historic season of their own. The Falcons lose every single game, going 0-17, thus giving the Rams the first overall pick. The Rams win the Super Bowl, but also get the first overall pick. Crazy. We're going to talk more about that pick later. Stay tuned. And speaking of train wreck seasons, our beloved NFC West rivals. Let's talk about them. The Seahawks and the 49ers? Oh, don't worry. They're having a historically bad season too. Not quite as bad as the Falcons, but arguably more miserable. Both go 0-15-2, and you can bet your last dollar those two ties, yep, they're against each other. The ultimate mud wrestling match of mediocrity. And one last note about the Seahawks, who currently have Cooper Kupp on their roster, hoping that Cooper Kupp comes to his senses and realizes how disgusting the Seahawks uniforms are, demands a trade back to the Rams early in the year, thus working on his Hall of Fame resume with the Rams, and Ram fans will never have to face the Seahawks with Cooper Kupp on that roster. This is a win-win for everyone, except for the Seahawks, obviously, because we don't want them to win. But what about our Red Bird friends, the Cardinals? I'm glad you asked. They actually managed to win 4 games this year, and guess who they sweeped? You got it, both the Seahawks and the Niners. I have a bit of a soft spot for the Cardinals right now because of the way they hosted the Rams playoff game last season, so I can't hate on them yet. At least until the start of the season. Moving on to the playoffs. Because the Rams were 17-0, remember, they blast through the wild card round on a bye. Woohoo. And then in the divisional round, who do they meet? The Philadelphia Eagles, of course. They had a decent year, but they lost to the Rams in week 3. And this time in the playoffs, Philly fans are absolutely sobbing when Braden Fisk forces a critical late-game fumble, which Jared Verse scoops and scores and taunts all the fans as he takes it to the house late in the game. Heartbreak for the Eagles, job security issues for Nick Sirianni, all thanks to your Los Angeles Rams. Gotta love it. Then, in the NFC Championship game, it's a rematch that every Ram fan wants to see. The Detroit Lions. And of course, the Lions lose to the Rams week 15. I still can't believe the NFL didn't make that a primetime game. Come on, NFL, what are you doing? But they managed to make it to the conference championship finals in SoFi Stadium versus the Rams. And what happens? Stafford has a late game-winning drive against the Lions, ending the debate once and for all. The Rams won the Stafford Goff trade, and there's no arguing with perfection. Now, to the Super Bowl. Who do the Rams defeat in the Super Bowl that would be most satisfying? Well, anybody would do, really, but I particularly have one team in mind that would be particularly juicy. After 2 exciting playoff games, the Rams, in fact, win the Super Bowl quite convincingly. But against who? Let me tell you. Not the Jets, because, that's going to happen, and I still am not happy about that 2020 loss. Not the Chargers. They got a rent check to pay, not a Super Bowl to play. The Patriots? Never. They need to stay out of the playoffs for the rest of my life after taking 2 Super Bowls away from the Rams. I hope to never see the Patriots make the playoffs ever again.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Bills? Nah. Chiefs? Absolutely not. Ravens? Nice try. No way. The team I want the Rams to defeat in utter humiliation in the Super Bowl is the Las Vegas Raiders. Coached by Pete Carroll and quarterbacked by Geno Smith, I want the Rams to destroy the Raiders 77-0, or any score like that. Why? Because Tom Brady owns the team, and Raiders fans, with all due respect, talk way too much trash for a team that's been constantly mediocre for so long. We get it. Your team used to play in LA. Now you don't. Enjoy the humiliating shutout. Now, as for the overall pick, after this perfect historic season for the Rams, absolutely glorious. Fresh off the Super Bowl parade, the Rams draft Arch Manning first overall via the Falcons pick. Arch Manning debated staying in college, but then he realized being coached by Sean McVay his entire career, winning 20 Super Bowls, is way better than staying in college. Matthew Stafford, the absolute legend of a quarterback, can either ride off into the sunset with Kelly into the sweet bliss of retirement, or stick around and let Arch learn from him for a year or two. And so, Ramley and other NFL family, that is how the Rams lived happily ever after in 2025. The perfect season, the perfect draft, and the perfect dynasty. Feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of my dream season for the Rams. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite part of this perfect Rams season fantasy. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with every Rams fan you know. Until next time, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams.